In Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi, he gives us a number of amazing little aphorisms that many of them, little gemstones, I've alluded to some of these in other videos, many of them just sail right by. We're going along and they may intrigue us momentarily, or the impact, the significance may entirely pass us by, sail right over the top of our heads. But later on, we get to thinking about it. And I'll share one of these today. Yogananda, this I believe is in the chapter called The Cauliflower Robbery, which is a charming little story of Yogananda being taught a lesson in absent-mindedness and why one should not be absent-minded. But in that chapter, by way of explaining the mechanics or the energy behind the lesson that happened, he drops this little gem. He said, "Thoughts are universally and not individually rooted." Now, if you ponder that simple concept, thoughts are universally and not individually rooted, it leads inescapably to the conclusion that we tune into thoughts that are already present in the universe. And so the question naturally arises, what radio station are you listening to? Obviously, at the moment, you're listening to the Dharmadas, Nirmala, and Ananda Sacramento channel, if you will, because you're watching this video. But in general, in life, what station are you listening to? Because we, all of us, have access to an incredible variety of places, consciousness that we can tune into. One of the scary aspects of the internet is that we can tune into anything. We can tune into the people who are interested in nuclear physics. We can tune into people who are interested in making the soles of running shoes last longer. I mean, it can be anything, none of those things are necessarily all that scary. It's just that if we want to go and go and go and go and just keep on going endlessly in a particular direction, in a sense, there's nothing to stop us doing that. We could pick the most obscure, we could get into a discussion about starfish that live in the southern ocean of, Tasmania. And we would probably find a bunch of people who would talk about that 24 hours a day if we were sufficiently energetic and interested in that subject, or some obscure style of painting, or whatever it may be. And if we want to just go and go and go, we can. So again, we have to ask ourselves, which channel am I listening to? What level of thoughts and energy am I aware of? It reminds me of many years ago, I made a little bit of a study of Dante's Inferno, and then the three works of Dante's, including the Paradiso, which I loved, and Purgatorio, I think, is the middle one. Anyway, Dante goes down into hell, essentially, in this journey. He kind of has a vision and shares it in these books. And he works his way up. And he finally works his way off the planet altogether into paradise. And he talks about the choirs of angels. And he's had some kind of experience, some kind of vision, some kind of something that was obviously very real. And he talks about coming to the place where there's just light. There's just this incredible presence. And there's nothing to stop us from tuning into that level of pure bliss, pure light of God, if we are willing to raise our energy to that level of refinement. And so in our lives, let us ask ourselves the question, which station am I listening to? Is this the kind of music, or are these the kinds of thoughts that I want to listen to? Or are they just endlessly repetitive endlessly boring, endlessly annoying, or whatever? Or are they creative, inspiring, uplifting, enthusiastic, joyful, etc., etc.? We have the choice. What we listen to, and I don't just mean music or spoken audio or something, we have the choice, the kind of consciousness that we listen to in ourselves and that we allow to express through us, through our voices, through our thoughts, whether written or spoken, etc. Let us lift our energy to the absolute highest potential that lies within us. Because if we do so, we will find the divine presence in that place, waiting for us, as it has been waiting for us through eternity. Namaste.